Hi, my name is Chuy and welcome to BOSLabs. This might actually be our very first YouTube video, so welcome to our channel. Today I want to talk about dolly zooms, and more specifically about doing a one-man dolly zoom, which is kind of difficult. If you don't know what a dolly zoom is, it's a cinematic move where the camera pushes in while a zoom lens is essentially zooming out, or vice versa. If the camera is pulling out, then the camera is zooming in. You've seen it in movies like Vertigo or Jaws, also Goodfellas, to name some of the larger movies, but this technique has been used everywhere. And what it does is it creates an optical illusion, if you will, between the subject and the background, where it looks like the background's extending or getting closer to the subject depending on the move. Maybe this is starting to sound familiar now. So if you want to know more about it or know more about the history, there's a ton of YouTube videos talking about that. But today I want to talk about being able to do this by yourself, and if that's possible. And yes, it's going to rely on the type of gear you have. So I was thinking to myself, hey, I have access to a C300 Mark II. I also have access to this guy right here, which is a Canon compact servo lens. It's the 18mm to 80mm, and I have the zoom rocker for it. So I said, okay, I have this old slider from when I was in college, but I had this stuff in the studio. I called my buddy Ben up and said, hey man, I need a subject. Come just sit down in a chair for me. I'm gonna try something out. So what I did was I put the camera on the slider with the lens, right? I'm putting the camera on autofocus and I set it to face priority for Canon. Canon's got really good autofocus with its dual pixel autofocus, so I'm gonna completely rely on that, because normally for this move, you need a person, an AC doing follow focus, you need someone controlling the zoom on the lens, and you need someone pushing the dolly, or in this case, a slider. So I said, how do I do that by myself? Well, one, I'm relying on Canon's technology to get the focus on my friend Ben's face. Two, I have the rocker, so I'm going to be controlling the zoom with one hand, and on the other, I'm going to be pushing my slider. So essentially, I'm doing all this by myself, hoping that I get the right mixture of timing and that the autofocus on the camera performs well enough for the shot to work. So you're seeing it in action right now, and here are my results. So this is not the ideal setup or the ideal configuration for this, because it's kind of a merger of a perfect storm, if you will, of gear that I had just to be able to try to pull it off. Right? Not everyone shoots on Canon, not everyone has autofocus like Canon does, and not everyone has a slider or a servo lens like I do here. But it was just an idea I had when I was watching a movie and I saw the effect. I was like, hey, can I do that on my own, since I shoot by myself most of the time? And the answer is yes, I could technically get away with it. It's a small run on the slider, so maybe I could use a bigger slider or use a proper dolly, but it's definitely possible to get a similar effect or a very close effect on my own in this case. And I figured I would share that with you guys because this is something I'm going to be using down the road. It's going to be something I can keep in my back pocket in case I ever want to use it on a small shoot where I don't have a crew, where I don't have the means to do one properly, where I have 4 people, working together to nail this, and everyone's just worried and focused about one job. So thank you for watching. If you liked the content, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. And if you want to be a friend, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're looking to do all sorts of different content on here. So yeah, stay tuned and thanks for watching.